down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with their great substance.
Abraham and the horrifying darkness, dealing with slaves and Ishmael. Abraham goes into a horrifying darkness. In Hebrew is al-yom darkness, a darkness of the west side. I'm suspecting that it was the evening time, and that this is when they had vultures back then that came down and ate the carcasses that Abraham, I think, was honoring, was a thinkable, honorable Western sacrifice. And a horrifying darkness came down upon them. We're going to try and scope this idea with some relative background. Of course, if you were to look up the book of Job, you would see that their eyes had darkness. And that if you looked at the animals that they have, of course, we don't know exactly where we're at. In dream world, that these livestock, these cows, have darkness over their eyes. It grows from their bone tissue, by the way. Okay, so the calibers of horrifying darkness, al-yom, al-dark, al-yom meaning west side, and even water, a dark water, would be calculated. Abraham at this point, I think, is coming out of Ur, light of the Chaldeans, lightning, electric, Kasad. Lydia, a Slav, El Dajor, is known for being a distributor of purple while taking a bath by the water. She was also a tutor. Don't you think if the people were to elope on a foreign land, that it would arouse the Slavs but would still show a horrifying, in this sense of a word, darkness, not used allegorically, the Golopogus. Is there any game in wild birds, heart attack, frigatate bird, and blue shoes, Galapagos Islands bird, two birds of a water source, show heart attack against black people, and can be amongst those that are claimed to have a horrifying darkness in the western bow, back at the nap, South America. If we were looking at Kozak al-Yom, what is the word used for horrifying darkness? Al-Yom meaning water and west side. Al-Yom meaning water and west side. The llamas of South America have no water, they have no humps. The horrifying darkness could be lack of water. Al-Yom, water. As for the word horrifying and darkness, if the mountains of South America's back of the naps were taller than Kenya's mountain, then 20 mountains were taller than Kenya's mountain, his one taller mountain, yet he is a secular Christian. And of course, you always have the Turtle Turn, Michigan, and behind Turtle Turn's Michigan's head are those four live volcanoes in Seattle and Oregon, with dark clouds and ash being spewed up, then descending down. It shows a form of darkness which we think is attributed to the slave era, work, degree, pedigree, and has a Western slave hint to it in the Western darkness. 24 hours of night in the North Pole show a great darkness. In the Western Hemisphere, the slaves are supposed to be in the North Pole, at Japhet territory, after Moses, at Balaam and Balak. That's not black, but it's Balak. And those are the two seers after Moses who found Assyria's slaves to be in Gog, Magog, and Japhet. To rhyme with Shem and Kim became Yem, and is yet another parable to go with Kozak al-Yom, horrifying darkness. Japhet, to rhyme with Shem and Kim. Then there's Hawaii, some black UFO on top of this guy's head. in San Francisco, which if you dug under Hawaii, you would get back to Africa. It's polar opposite. They say it's connected in Genesis 25, and it's still related to Abraham's other people. You might as well Abraham have sent his kids eastwards, flying naps, that is, with a concubine. Genesis 25. Just to wind up on his own head. Abraham's the father of many nations. But if you had some black UFO on top of your head, would you claim that was a horrifying darkness on your west side? We have walk before you fly to add some light. Ur of the Chaldeans, where Abraham is coming from. Walk before you fly in all directions. Big ups. Then you have the turtle tern, whose shell resembles the shell of the exotic marijuana plant. For some reason, it looks like a tortoise shell. And what you're left with in the days of slaves are the two-part components that you'll need at our meridian line between black and white, and you're getting sleep and ice. The turtle tern and the ice. What did Moses say in the sleep, the Sabbath? He brought the Sabbath, he brought the sleep. What did Moses say to his seven in the south side in the Negev? Or should we say, what did they say in the ice at turtle tern? Two-part components, and yet tortoise shells matching. And in both forms, there's some kind of form of darkness given with a ribbon. Then there's the idea that the expatriate and non-slaves to our fortress seem to enhance, non-brown people to our fortress seem to enhance the ambience of a, as far as the eyes can see, kind of dark cloud which ranges as north, south, east, and west as far as the eyes can see, and yet seems to, from within the belly, just go on and forever and ever, and yet crosses paths of the slaves completely different. In a vision, Abraham's dream as the vultures were driven. I talked to the bathtub for days, it's spitting. Nappy kite off the chain start lifting, claiming he could raise all niggas like tape off stitches. Then use your brain start strengthening. Too deep. Back of the naps, you have to strain your vision. I stay amazed how we could stay so distant. Closed cases whispering, road rage, two-lane collisions. I start remembering about Hussein's in prison, a new gang commissioned who will raise a witness. I think we need black lawyers for a strange decision. Wu-Tang explained the system. Small cadets will have to maintain position. Which lanes to this one? I woke up and met a gang of pigeons who don't have the same precision, and straight aim the slim one. Split the hairs on your cane, son. Whiskey barrel down with grim, son. Back of the naps taken over by Mercedes-Benz. Meros, leaving with the French kiss. Two kids make an engine. Don't overlap, plus new eyes and the faith of children. Creates a sealant, don't break. Electrons equate the feelings. Feed babes a real one. No meal on the tongue. Sit still and eat. New air push out like lungs. Unite like rice on a sponge. New life when it comes up doesn't fight, it's just begun. Shine bright as the sun, you are my son. Air, memory, plus lightnings are one. 1,000 thieves trying to hide their thrum. It's like a leak that you find in a drum, or wine bottles when they vent that you have to replunge, or how to start off as a seed that you have to read from. Air, memory, plus staticky spun. From out of the static, you can imagine just one electromagnet just gonna grab shit and run. It's automatically done. Inner vision is the static of sun. Aurora lights, electromagnetics, steal everything, Isaiah 5, 6, 7, 8. A horrifying darkness. Rock this nigga's road. We out to the next round, you can catch a nigga downtown. Some watches made out of gold.